A Zen master lived in a simple hut in the mountains. One night, a thief broke in, only to find there was nothing worth stealing. The master caught him and said, "You came a long way to visit me, and you should not leave empty-handed. Here, take my clothes." The thief, bewildered, took them and fled. The master sat naked, gazing at the moon, and said, "Poor fellow, I wish I could have given him this beautiful moon." A professor visited a Zen master to learn about Zen. The master served tea. He poured until the cup was overflowing, but he didn't stop. The professor watched until he could no longer contain himself. "It's full! No more will go in!" the professor cried. The master calmly said, "Like this cup, your mind is full of opinions and preconceptions. How can I teach you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" A student once asked his Zen master, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" The master simply looked at him and remained silent. Days passed, and the student pondered the question, unable to find an answer. Finally, the master smiled and said, "When you can hear the sound of one hand clapping, you will understand Zen." A student came to a Zen master asking for help to calm his mind. The master instructed, "Go to the river and catch a fish." The student was puzzled but followed the instruction. Hours passed, and he caught nothing. Frustrated, he returned. The master said, "The fish won't come while you're restless. Still your mind, and the fish will appear." A monk meditated on a quiet lake when suddenly another boat crashed into his. Angrily, he opened his eyes, ready to scold the reckless person. But to his surprise, the boat was empty. The monk laughed at himself, realizing that his anger came from within. From that day, he vowed to remain calm even when life's empty boats bump into him. Two monks were traveling when they came upon a woman stuck at a riverbank unable to cross. The elder monk picked her up and carried her across the river. Hours later, the younger monk, troubled, asked, "Why did you carry that woman?" "We monks shouldn't do that." The elder monk smiled. "I left her at the river hours ago." "Why are you still carrying her?" A Zen master told his students, "I can point you to the truth, but don't mistake my finger for the truth itself. It's like a finger pointing to the moon. The finger isn't the moon. Look beyond to see the real thing." A stonecutter, tired of his hard work, wished to be rich and powerful. His wish was granted, and he became a rich man, then a king, then the sun, then the wind, and finally a stone again. He realized that in every form he had been dissatisfied. In the end, he understood that being himself as a stonecutter was enough. A man was chased by a tiger. He ran until he reached the edge of a cliff, grabbing a vine to hang on for dear life. Below him, another tiger waited. As he hung there, he noticed a strawberry growing nearby. He plucked it, ate it, and exclaimed, "How delicious!" A nun named Chiono spent years trying to attain enlightenment. One night, while carrying water in an old bucket, the bamboo strip holding it together broke, and the bottom fell out. As she watched the water spill away, Chiono realized the nature of impermanence and was enlightened. She exclaimed, "No water, no moon,